everybody. So last time we were together, we did an experiment to try and prove that air had weight, had mass, had volume. We were able to prove air pressure, that air is pushing in every direction and it's got a lot of weight and it really wants to fill up all the available space that it can. Well, remember when we reached that perfect balance point where there was no more places for the air to push to or for the air to go to, it was called an equilibrium. It's when we balance everything out and all the pressure was equal from all sides. I want to go back to that today, but in doing so, I want to show you a cool kind of a science trick that you can amaze your younger siblings or younger cousins with. So what are we going to need today? Well, we're actually going to need the exact same stuff that we had last time. So I'm going to need a glass plate, or in my case, I'm using a pie plate, something I would usually make a pie in. I'm going to need a fire source. You will not be using this. The adults in the room will be using this, or the person that is in charge of you today will be using this. Remember, don't play with fire. I tried it at home, and now I'm on fire. So, we're safe. We use safety goggles. I totally want to keep this shirt clean, though. So, we need a fire source. Again, you can use a tea candle if you have one, a little tea light like this. If you don't, no big deal, because last time we made a little tin foil bowl, little tin foil cup, and I kept this again in my magic box of treasures, or my makerspace chest, as I call it. Got my little box. I'm gonna need some paper towels. I'm gonna need my glass cup that I had last time, and I'm gonna need some water. Same bottle of water I used last time. I just put some blue food coloring in it so that it's easier to see when it's on the video. We're gonna do one thing different this time. Instead of just taking the water and pouring it directly into the plate, I'm actually not going to use a ton of water. And what I'm going to do, so I'm going to take my paper towels, a big paper towel, rip some corners off of this one for something else. No worries, it's still good enough. If you have the paper towels that are like this size that are perforated, great, just grab 2 of them. If you just have regular big paper towels, awesome, just fold it in half. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have 4 layers of paper towel ready to go. And that's going to go boonk right in the bottom of my tray. That's step 1. Then I'm going to take some water. And I'm not going to use a lot this time. I actually don't want to fill this thing up at all. I'm just going to pour it. Ooh, that looks cool. Pour it, get my paper towel nice and wet. Now, if you remember last time, once the water was pulled up in the last video, when the water pulled up into the cup, it wasn't hard for me to pick the cup up. You just boom, picked it up. And we talked about why that happened. And that was because this rim isn't perfectly flat and it didn't create a perfect seal against the pie plate when it was upside down like that. There were these gaps that air and water could rush in. And that's why it didn't suction closed. Well, in doing this with this paper plate, I'm actually gonna, or with the paper plate, in doing this version with this paper towel, I'm actually trying to create that perfect seal between the cup and my pie pan, my pie plate. Once I have that perfect seal, same science is gonna happen. I'm gonna put my little piece of paper towel in there, or I'm gonna use my tea light, either one, light it on fire carefully. The adult's gonna do that again, not you. Put my cup upside down. All the air inside the cup is going to get nice and superheated, and it's going to do what? Well, again, it's going to rise and it's going to compress all that air up towards the top of the cup as much as it can. That's going to cause the fire to go out, because without oxygen, fire dies off. So, but the big difference is that this wet paper towel that we've got here now, that wet paper towel is going to act as a seal. It's going to let some stuff in, but not a bunch. And eventually, so much water is going to try and rush in to fill this empty space that we create when we compress all the water up here. Remember, pushing in. It wants to be able to come in and fill that empty space. Well, so much water is going to try and do it all at once that it's going to kind of create a dam. And so nothing's going to be able to get in. And we're going to have this perfect suction. And this is the trick on how we're able to pick up a pie plate without touching it. Just using paper towel, a glass, and a pie plate. Or a regular plate works. Remember, they just have to be glass. Because if I'm using a paper plate, well, it's going to catch on fire. If I'm using a plastic plate, well, I'm probably going to melt it. So we got to be careful. So let's get started. I will move the camera around like I did last time so you guys can see it a little bit better. And then we'll get going on this one. Be right back. Okay, we are back. We are ready to go. Got everything switched around. Got some glasses on, keep me nice and safe. So again, just like last time, same materials. The only difference is instead of filling the bottom of my pie plate up with water, I've put in a paper towel, folded it up a couple times so it's a little bit thicker, and then I've just got that nice and wet, and that's going to act as a seal. So same process, take my little bowl. This thing's really turned out to be pretty awesome. I'm going to have my responsible adult, which frighteningly enough is me in this case, light this on fire. I'm going to drop it in there. I'm going to take my cup, boom, flip it upside down and let it go, just like I did last time. Let's see what happens now. Get it on fire. Woohoo! I got a little warm. And we can see immediately, we can see just a tiny bit of water. The fire's gone out, but there's more water out here on the outside, isn't there? And if we watched it, it would slowly start to creep up. But while it's still pulling, watch what happens. Ready? And whoop. Look at that. Super cool. I've created a perfect seal. All that air pressure, all that air is pushing in as hard as it can to try and get in. But there's stuff in the way. This paper towel is just not letting a lot of stuff in. It's got to do it really slowly, but the air is so heavy on the outside that it really wants to fill that empty spot. So it's going to be sucking up as hard as it can while that air is trying to push under the cup. Now the trick is, how do I get the cup off the plate? Ooh, well, if I spin it while I move it to the side, there we go. Nice and loose. Again, so let's try this again. Get rid of that little guy. We'll get, here, look at that. Paper towel, good to go. So, oh, make sure there's no water in my cup when I put out the fire when I turn it upside down. So again, have your responsible adult light that. Okay, yeah, that's going, oh, nope. Went out, I don't want to touch it. So I'm just gonna hold my little bowl and light it that way. It's going. Yeah, it's going. And zoom. Let's see what happens. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Look at that. So cool. I love that reaction every time. Every time. It's just. Oh! Whoo! That was so scary. Oh my gosh. So why did that happen? You know what I bet is happening. And you'll have to see if you have the same thought I have. So go ahead, pause the video real quick, talk to the people in the room, talk to your family, see if you can figure out why the suction released so quickly that time compared to the time before. And then we'll compare notes and see what happened. So, I think what happened, because of my observations, is that this time, number one, my piece of paper wasn't as large, and it wasn't really burning well, because I kind of, I was a little scared. I didn't want to touch it. I knew it was going to be hot, so it wasn't really like a big fire. So I'm thinking that it just hadn't created enough hot air fast enough that the vacuum that was created, that void, and when we flipped this up and all that air started to push up this way, I think it was just too slow of a process. The first couple of times that I've done this, I mean, we watched it go, I mean, immediately. It was really neat. That time was a lot slower, so I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. Let me try this again. I'm super curious if that's what it is. So, we get... there we go. Try this one more time. Get that nice and lit this time. There we go. That's a good little fire. And boom. Fire's still going. There we go. That went a lot faster, but it just doesn't seem like it's pulling as hard this time either. I wonder why. Well, let's see if it's created good suction. This time I'm going to stick my hand under there to catch it, just in case it does let go, in case it releases. Ooh, oh, look at that. Nice and strong again this time. Strong, strong. That is cool. So that's it. That's the trick. Let me get these cameras flipped back around, and I'll be right back. I'm thinking my observation was correct. The reason that that suction let go so quickly is a little weak last time, because it's been like 5 minutes since I shut the camera off because I had a couple other things that I needed to do. And check this out. It is still, oh, I'm scared to look at this eye, it's super high. But, I mean, it's still nice and strong. Still trying to pull, or all that air is trying to push down and get whoop under that cup to go up and fill that void that was created, that vacuum. So, nice and strong still. So the trick, I believe, is to get a nice, good, quick seal. The faster the seal is created, the stronger it's going to be. This is an amazing little bit of science. You can amaze your family, your younger cousins, younger brothers and sisters, and then teach them a little bit about air pressure. You should give them the challenge. How can I pick up this plate or this pie plate without using my hands or any other utensils? And let's give them a couple little pieces, see if they can figure out how to do it. And then you can show them the real science. Ooh, it's like a cool little UFO. Anyways, guys, we're going to keep going on stuff like this. There's only like 2 more quick little experiments I want to show you that have to do with air pressure, but these are awesome. These are going to be a challenge. The next challenge is I want to see if you can figure out how to get a water balloon full of water inside a water bottle. It sounds really simple. I wonder if it's going to be as simple as it sounds. I don't know. I'll check out the next video. Hey, until then, stay healthy, stay safe, stay home. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.